So this video I think might be a slightly different style than what I usually do. I guess not really because I have made my Lorax theory video, but I want to do this one for fun. I came up with this analysis a bit ago on what I think the appeal of TV head characters are, and I told a few of my friends about it, and I figured I should talk about it here too because I want to talk to you guys are my friends, right? And I realized my last two videos I was just kind of friend hopping on has been or whatever. I mean, I did have things I wanted to say, and I want to get that out there. Like I've said in previous videos that I've made, I want to post more often here. I don't like that I keep taking these month-long, like several months in between posting videos. I want to give you guys like more stuff. I want to talk more. This video, I kind of want to push myself to talk about something that I think is a little embarrassing. Me going over what I think the appeal of a certain character type is. So, hopefully this does good, or whoever sees it, I hope they find it entertaining or an interesting scientific study at the very least. So I'm just gonna start talking and stop stalling for time because I realize I'm doing that right now. So I do think there is something special about the appeal of TV head characters, and I know there's many people who have made OCs, and I'm sure there's more obscure media with certain characters. I'm kind of going with a few mainstream ones for what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Mr. Antenna, Vox, V, and Mr. Puzzles. So those are gonna be what I focus on. Not so much V, because I haven't really seen people simp for her. Like I have seen many people simp for the other three, so that's something I'm gonna be covering. I was considering adding Karen to the list, but she kind of is technically more of a monitor. She doesn't. We'll go over what I want to like say about the TV characters, but when I go over this stuff, you guys will understand like why I don't think Karen fits the criteria for the algorithmic things I go through in my head to determine who is a correct TV character. So yeah, let's get to that. I want to say my first point is the easiest thing to point out here. A lot of our generation grows up on television. Like when you're a young child, your parents have that on, and you've got all your shows there, and you become very familiar with that concept, like of this box with a screen on it that displays things that you enjoy. And I also want to mention that while these boxes can display things that could be comforting to a person or enjoyable, humorous, all these things, it can also display things that are traumatic to children. Things like gore animations or news that children would find disturbing, all these different things that would be traumatic for you as a young child, right? I'm sure we can all think about it, bronies and cupcakes and that kind of stuff. And I would like to factor in that TVs are also widely known. People use television to broadcast like propaganda, misinformation, subliminal messaging, all that kind of stuff. But you also get your comfort shows from that. Probably wrote this down later in the script, but I'm gonna say it right now. We all know that things that traumatize you when you're younger can develop into kinks or interests, or they develop into something more in the future. If you see something traumatic, that can stick within your head, and to cope with what you were exposed to later on in life, you might develop a certain type of interest in that. Now, this tactic of using these two extremes, something to horrify the victim, to terrify them, to traumatize them, and then to also use things that comfort them and bring them safety, is a tactic that is often used in toxic relationships, where that danger that is presented could really terrify someone and make them want to leave, but then those brief moments of comfort and kindness really make them feel like there's something worth staying for. It makes the two extremes very impactful when they happen. The victim ends up becoming hooked to that feeling. I also notice a certain trend with the characters, with all TV characters, is their demand and their need for attention from their viewers, as if to them being seen, looked at, and given attention is how they survive, or is what gives them purpose, which essentially it makes sense, because if you are created by someone and your entire purpose is to display on your model something for viewers, then if you're not doing that, then you don't know what else to do with your life, because that's all you've been created for, and you can't imagine a life outside of that. Now, as for individual traits of the characters, this is a bit more abstract part of the video of me trying to figure out individually what might have people drawn to them, because we all know that characters are not, people don't just become drawn to characters because of what they look like, or, you know, these associations. There's always something about their personality that draws people to them as well. And I'm kind of looking at this in a very scientific, not a very scientific way. I'm looking at this as an outsider trying to understand what the appeal is to each of these characters. So first, I'm gonna go over Mr. Antenna, who I want to say I really like the way he looks in game. He looks like an educational game. From what I've gathered, he is a game show host, and a lot of kids grow up on game shows. They're typically, you know, like a grandparent household has like a game show on all the time in the background, and that becomes something that you become very familiar with. I'm sure the idea of the TV itself being personified, that can bring a lot of comfort to a person. Like the person you grew up seeing on this show always talking to you, to the camera, is now you're able to interact with them directly. And also, more things about Antenna is he's fallen from that success of being a game show host. He's kind of where I got the idea that TVs feel warmth from being viewed. While I'm talking, by the way, I have a TV on in the background. I think I'm like subconsciously having it on so I can like glance up at it and be like, I'm giving you attention. Don't worry, I love you. I love my TV. I would give it a hug if it was real. But anyways, and I know that Antenna like suffers deep trauma from the divorce between Toriel and Asgore. I was gonna say Azrael, that would be terrible. I imagine that fans of this character specifically, I imagine there's at least someone who's gonna resonate with this that also had a really bad divorce that happened with their parents, and the idea of the TV being able to come to life, to step in and to act as like a fatherly figure for them and to give them the love and comfort that their parents don't give them, is an idea that they latch onto, because that's something that all kids deserve, is a loving father and to have that attention. If Antenna resonates with anyone in that way, I think that's a really beautiful thing. I think that they deserve to have that as their comfort character. Of course, I know this certain, I'm not oblivious to what a lot of people draw him like. I know, but I like to think of these things in a not in that way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, anyways, now this character, Mr. Puzzles, I'm not as familiar with. I was never super into that show, and I only recently kind of saw some of his scenes from a couple of the SMG movies. So this one I'm very much an outsider on, and I could be getting things wrong, but I'm trying to piece together what I can. I'm just saying this like ahead of time. Whatever I get wrong, I apologize for. If I'm misinterpreting the character, you guys can let me know in the comments. From what I understand, he is another game show host. I think he leans more towards trying to recreate movies or shows, fictional shows with like plot lines. Because I saw there was one video where he does do like a game show, but I think he kind of is more geared towards movies. Like specifically, I think he does more Disney parodies, because he has a Puzzle Park, Puzzle Vision Plus. So I think he's supposed to be a parody of that, and he has this very strong drive to get the 5-star rating for creative control, which I think I forgot to mention this, but I think that's another thing with the TV characters. I noticed their need for attention, their need for control, more toxic relationship stuff. Course. This other point I have here, I think might be one of the more compelling things. Not compelling. I think this next point might be one of the things that makes him easier to latch onto for some people, is his troubles with making friends, and how he turned in his backstory, how he turned to TV as like escapism because he wasn't able to socialize normally. And I think that's a common experience with neurodivergent people, because I relate to it too, like the difficulty with making friends on your own. I have a lot of friends, I'm not discrediting them, I'm just saying like, you know what I mean, like the difficulty with reaching out, I guess. It's something I a lot more relate to now as an adult. And I think there's also in one of the movies, there's the I can fix him appeal kind of in there, because they have one of the characters go to try to help him and be like, I'll be your friend, it's not too late. What I really like is okay, I discovered this character through his songs, and then I looked into the movies. I like that after I think the character's name is Meg, she goes into his mind to become his friend, and I like that he still gets defeated at the end and sent to an asylum, and I like that becoming his friend didn't like fix him at all. I like that it kind of made him a bit more crazy, like with latching on to the idea of the friend that he made in his head, and like he goes all crazy and wanted to find them again or something. I have to watch more of the episodes to get more of an understanding of his character, but that's just what I kind of gathered from him. I also think he has really good voice acting. I just want to say that. Yeah. Now for my final character I want to go over. Probably the least favorite of the TV characters, Vox. I kind of have mixed feelings on him because I'm a reluctant Vox defender in the Has-Been fandom. I don't know. I think he's a very annoying character. I think he kind of sucks, but also he's still my favorite within universe. I might have a TV character bias, I'm not sure. I think he's like a news broadcaster, right? I mean, we learned in the newer episodes that he was a cult leader, and yeah, I don't know, he doesn't really have as much of a redeemable personality that makes you want to like him. He's got the stalker thing that people go crazy for. We learned in his backstory about his rejection that he got from Alistair. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't write down any points for oh shit, I hit my keyboard. I didn't really write down any points for him because I was like, damn, I don't really actually have any thoughts for him. Maybe I'll just come up with some on the spot. I'm switching my microphone to my other hand, sorry if you can hear that. But I just don't really have much to say about him. So yeah, I guess that's all the points I have written down here. Oh no, I didn't write anything else for the script. So this is now all off script stuff. So that was kind of what I wanted to talk about today, was just going over that analysis I had. So what is my conclusion here? What is my conclusion about TV head characters? Well, I think that it is very valid. I think if you really like TV characters, you're extremely valid, and they are awesome. I like them a lot. I like their designs. I like their obsession with things related to TV. I like how much they want their ratings, and I like how pathetic they kind of can be and how crazy they get. I don't really that was nothing. I said nothing there. I don't know how to make like a proper conclusion, because like I said everything that I think. I don't know how to summarize that. So if my conclusion isn't clear, I guess what I just want to say is I think that the appeal in them is trauma bonding. You trauma bonded with your TV, and now you want to be with it and love on it, and that's okay. It's okay if you want to love your TV. I'm looking at my TV right now, and I'm thinking, honestly, with everything that the TV has witnessed to happen in this room, I want to hug from it. I want to hug from it so bad. I think you know what's interesting to me too? Ignore Vox being in this video. I think it's interesting that the other two, Mr. Puzzles and Mr. Antenna, are they're very like tall. Not just in the sense of like, you know, a lot of the characters that people sent for are tall, but in the sense of like it's like their height scales with the TV itself. They're proportionately, their body has to like be really tall for them to not look like ridiculous, and I think that's really adorable, because the alternative is if they want to be like average human size, they would have a really tiny body or just little legs that come out. My TV right here, that'd be a really big guy. That'd be a really tall person. I don't like that. That would probably crush my my street, crush my house. You know what? I hope it comes to life. I hope it crushes. Who gets to brag about, yeah, my TV came to life, decided it wanted to crush my home. You know what? I hope my TV is a woman. I hope that's a big lady. Actually, no. That is a fetish that people draw a lot. I don't want a big man, however. No, I'm kidding. I want it to be non-binary. I want my binary TV to be non-binary. That's what I think. I don't know what I'm saying. I enjoyed making this a lot. Here's one type of video I really want to be able to make. I really want to be able to make videos on like obscure games on like the mobile store. I don't really browse Steam very much, but I really love looking at mobile games. But the only problem is my phone has no storage, and I don't know how I would like record enough content on there and be able to make a video out of it, because like I can't record a lot on there. If anyone has like ideas for how to, like, if anyone knows how to record videos on your phone and like not lose storage and be able to like upload it, like advice, generally advice for that would be very appreciated. Again, I'm just sort of talking a lot because I miss you guys. I miss being able to talk on the videos. I've been trying to animate again. I kind of get lazy with it because it's difficult to do frame by frame, and then tweening is for some reason tweening is really laggy and my laptop crashes when I try to do that. So I don't know how to go about doing that. I have been more active on X. I've been trying to post more often there, see if I can get more of a following. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. I've been kind of slacking on streaming. My commissions are open. I should definitely mention that my commissions are open. So if you guys like my artwork, I'll probably show some here. If you guys like it, then please let me know if you want like any commissions for me. If you know anyone like who would want one, please share, because I would love to make drawings for people, for decent pay, of course, for a sizable fee. Okay, yeah, shut up. Sorry, that's Pinstripe coming out. Oh, I tried to dress up as Jeff the Killer for Halloween. I kind of failed miserably though, because I didn't have very good face paint. Sorry, this is a TV character analysis video, and I'm ranting about myself again. I'll cut it off there. I just kind of wanted to give a bit of an update because it's been a bit since I just talked to you guys, and I love you, and I hope you're doing fine. You know, if you ever just want to like give a little comment, tell us how you're doing. You know, we're all family here. We're all friends and family. We'll see what my next videos are like. I gotta be more confident with just recording and editing and just locking in on that, because I think that's definitely another thing that kind of makes me forget to make videos. Is I live with my family still, so I think I kind of overthink like, oh, when should I record, and I don't want to record at night and talk too loud, or I still get embarrassed about the fact that I want to make YouTube videos even though I know like no one's gonna say anything. That's just generally, I guess, how it is when you want to be a YouTuber, is you're always gonna feel embarrassed in the early stages of it. So in conclusion, I love TV, 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 and I love Gorgeous 5 stars, and I don't really care for Vox as much as them, but in universe of Hazbin Hotel, I think Vox is one of the finer characters, okay? I might not be the greatest, alright? I don't know when I'm gonna upload this. I do want to try to make my own designs of Hazbin characters. They're not gonna be like incredible or like super different from the originals, but I want to like slight little redesigns and, you know, just see what you guys think of them, just for fun. Okay, that's enough of me ranting. Hope you guys like the video. Sorry for going on a tangent for so long again, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, and whenever this gets out, you know, I don't know if I'll be lazy and this gets out by like Christmas or something, but hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully I get it out quickly and I can actually, you know, upload this at a good time. Alright, bye.